Hey there, welcome to California Lutheran University. I'm Krista and I am currently a resident assistant for the University Honors Program Living Learning Community in Mount Clef Hall and major in marketing communications here at Cal Lutheran. Today we'll cover how to navigate to the housing application, then how to fill out the applicant information section, the roommate matching section, information on living learning communities, meal plans, terms and conditions, renter's insurance, and finally how to submit your application. Let's get started. In order to find the application, you can go to Residence Life's main page on the CalLU website. Scroll down to apply for housing and click on housing application, then apply for housing. You may need to log into your MyCLU and then it will jump to the application page. Open your application. So for mine it says continue, but if this is your first time opening this, it should say get started. The first part of the application is your personal information. So this is where all your personal information would go, your email, your phone number, and then there will be a part for your parents or guardian information. So you would fill that out. And then next would be the emergency contact. Something to note is that the emergency contact and the parent information does not have to match. So your emergency contact can be anybody. If there's somebody that is closer to Thousand Oaks or in this area that you would like to be contacted in case of an emergency, that can be your person and it does not have to be your parent. Any allergies or medications you are taking is very important to put here so we know. The next part of your application starts with the building preference. So for first years, there is Mount Clef Hall, which I am currently in, and Thompson Hall and also Peterson Hall. The layout of these buildings and what they look like, you can press where it says here. It has a hyperlink to the virtual campus tour. So you can go to Mount Clef or Peterson or Thompson, and you can click and go into the lounge, go into a bedroom, the common area of the suites, things like that. So that will give you a good idea of what it would be like and how the setup is for each of the buildings. So if you have had family who have gone here, friends that have gone here, and have a specific room that you would like to be placed in, you can also put the room number in here if that is something that you would like to request. And also if you have somebody you are coming into CalLU with, whether that be a high school friend, a family friend, and you would like to live with them, you can put their full name in there as well. Sometimes people also connect through social media before the housing application, so that can be someone you put in there as well if you've both clicked and want to live together. Something that you should know is that Residence Life will try their best to put your preferences and selections of buildings into consideration and try to give you what you want, but there's no guarantee that you will get your first choice. The matching profile is where things get interesting. It asks you to pretty much reflect on your living habits and what kind of roommate you would be, as well as what kind of roommate and living environment you would want in your residence hall. So this is where it's very important to be very honest and really reflect on what you want in your room. It goes from everything from cleanliness to studying, your sleeping habits, and then you also have your interests. These will help Residence Life to try to match you with people that you may have things in common with, and also how you would get along in terms of living habits. So really try to take your time to think about what you want, think about what kind of living habits you have and what kind of people you would be interested in living with as well. So one of the questions in here is, are you interested in living with a resident assistant? So like myself, all resident assistants are second years or higher. So as a first year, you would be living with somebody from upperclassmen, whether that be a second year or a fourth year. Good thing about living with an RA is that RAs are trained to know all of the resources that are on campus. If you want to take a student leadership role, get involved on campus, most RAs would know more than the typical student about how to do that. It is also a guarantee that you will have a roommate/suite mate that will follow the rules, because they are also the ones enforcing the rules. So if you are somebody that would like that kind of stability as well, that's a great option for you to say that you would want to be with an RA. So then it goes on to list more things. Especially as a first year student, you won't know what you're going to be involved in, but if you plan to be involved in things, it's good to put it down here so they could try to find somebody that have similar interests. It has a section where it says please list any other interests or activities at the very bottom. It is a great idea to list in there. I really like going hiking or going to the beach. I like anything outdoorsy. I also like performing arts, so I love theater and music, dance, all of those things. So if I were to be filling this in, that would be where I would put all those things. This gives Residence Life more information and more options of people that they might be able to match you with. So it is highly recommended that you fill that part out and add more information. The University Honors Living Learning Community is the living learning community for first years. So if you are interested in that, at the very bottom of this page you can say yes, and then the next page is actually completely about the University Honors Living Learning Community. So if you are an incoming student that is already in the University Honors program, this is a great opportunity for anybody who is in the honors program as a first year to find friends that you will be going through the honors program with for your years at CLU. So the next section is the meal plan section. There are two options for first year. So because the first year halls do not have a kitchen, you are required to get a full meal plan. So the 19 meal plan gives you a swipe for every meal swipe period, and the 210 block has a little less than the 19 meal plan. The meal swipes can be used in all of the facilities for dining that are provided at Cal Lutheran, so you can obviously use it at the Almond cafeteria, but also at places like Starbucks, The Habit, Jamba Juice, which are other eating facilities, so you can use your swipes there as well. So this is an option that you can look into and decide which one is best fit for you. Next is the terms and conditions. This section is very important for you to read every year. It does change year to year, so please read this thoroughly before moving on to the next section every year that you apply and do this application. Next up is the renter's insurance. So renter's insurance is recommended for students. GradGuard has a renter's insurance that is made for Cal Lutheran students. So it would be $14 per month, and it pretty much covers insurance for any damages, things that could possibly happen in a residence hall. So this is something that we encourage students to enroll in, but of course you can opt out of this. This is not a required insurance, but we do encourage it, as if something does happen, you are financially responsible for replacing things. And finally, on the review page, make sure to go through all of the information you put in and make sure that it is all correct. If any changes are necessary, you can edit it and then submit, and you are done with your application. Once you've been assigned to a room, your room number and your roommate contact information will appear under the assigned rooms and my room. So that is when you can contact your roommates, get to know them, or maybe you're already friends. So that is information that would be posted once they have assigned you a room and roommate. You can check for updates on your application through the page that you were just on, but you'll also receive direct communication from the Residence Life office. I hope this helped guide you through applying for housing at CLU. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to Residence Life for help. We can't wait to see you on campus.